Oh, you found it? Okay.
Call this meeting to order. Please stand with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, roll call, please.
Larry Fidler, Cindy Holland,
Here.
Greg J,
Here.
Brandon Tanka, Rick Deerwester.
Here. Okay. Additions and deletions. It's going to be a modified meeting with our agenda. Without our attorney here tonight, we're going to be skipping through a lot of the contract things that we can't go through anyway. So instead of sitting here and calling out each deletion and all that as we go, we'll just say table, table, table. Is that all right? Okay, well, do we need a motion to accept the additions and deletions?
I would make a motion, we just move through it as needed.
All right, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, approval of May 10th meeting minutes. Can I get a motion?
Motion?
Second, please.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Claims and transfers.
From the general, $120,757.76.
Okay, can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
From water, $45,014.21.
All right, can you get a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
From the wastewater, $85,569.59.
Okay, a motion, please. Motion. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And payroll, $47,444.85.
All right, another motion, please.
Motion.
And second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're going to table the vehicle contract and the K-9. Did you want to say anything about enforcing?
No.
No, okay.
No, I've already,
You're, okay. All right.
handled, Steve's already got it, so
Okay.
we don't need to make that.
Okay, thank you. No representative from the fire department are having a public meeting, a meeting or something?
No, they're having a business meeting.
Business meeting, so there's nobody here from the fire chief. Town manager, Jason.
Time's up.
Okay. Here's my file
Okay.
for tonight.
You are kidding me.
I am kidding you.
Yeah.
I know
I'm
I'm
not.
not trying to
Time's up.
expedite things, especially since you don't have counsel. The only thing new, I'm just running time news, but I'm just gonna update you on Deer Creek Meadows subdivision. It is still progressing. Curbs, I'm expecting any day now. We have had some relocation issues with a water line, and we are addressing a relocation issue with a storm drain, but that is gonna be the county's, it's in the county right away, so it's not our issue. I had conversations with a couple of council members in regards to the water line move. So that's the only thing that we've really been involved with, other than they are planning in June to start having homes in that, June, July, homes in that subdivision. So they are progressing.
Good deal.
And I'm not gonna add anything else at the moment.
Okay. Thank you. Kelly, monthly reports.
Council has the appropriation report, revenue report, and water and sewer budget in there. I would point out that appropriations on equal spending should have 58.35% left. Two of the police line items are at 42, one's at 42.85 and one's at 41.11. There is, if you notice, the park operating is down to 44.13, and that is because we had added some money to that fund at the end of the year. It's encumbering. Basically, we decided to do the park roof, and it didn't get done last year, and so they brought some money over. But what that does is, when we put the park roof on and paid for it, it looks like we spent all the money in that fund, which they have plenty for their operating expenses, just that's why that number is down in 40s as well. There are claims in your packet. These are invoices that came to me for payment, and they're over the allotted portion, and they need approved by council for me to pay them. And there's 4 of them in your packet, and Jason can fill you in on what those are.
Maybe.
Okay.
I know Gail Anderson was water, that is at the water plant. We had a valve that was spraying water inside the plant. Was, and I'm sorry, Gail, I don't have this, that was like $3,000, something like that.
Yeah, 3,085.
$3,085. There was a valve in the water plant. That was a kind of emergency issue we needed to get to address. Utility supply, there were 3 utility supply. And just so you know, the next meeting, we're probably gonna have a lot of these.
Okay,
Some of these will be reimbursed to us because we had supplies that were used at different locations, one being Doe Creek and the other at the Edge Concrete Facility. So I've got probably 20 invoices on my desk that we're still pulling out to see who's gonna be responsible for what expenses. These expenses were determined by Richard and I. These are actually on our side.
okay.
Um,
Well, should we go ahead and make a motion on the first one, Anderson, $3,085?
It's up to you.
Yeah, can I get a motion to pay the
Make a motion, we
$3,085?
go ahead and pay the amount of it.
Okay, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then utility you're talking about?
Yeah, these are all underwater, under the water utility, underwater.
Okay,
The first one is 1665, it was for some Hymax couplings, there were 4 of those.
okay,
These will all be going for the subdivision, the part that we're responsible for paying.
so
Oh, I'm sorry.
the way it's written here, that would be number 2.
Yes,
Okay,
okay,
so-
I'll just let you do it individually.
Yeah.
Number 2 is 1,665.
8684. Yes, can I get approval for, or a motion to pay the $16.65
No motion?
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The next are for the yokes
Oh,
for the water utility. This is actually not a subdivision, these are backup because we're actually out of the yokes.
and that's $17.79.85.
For 5 of those,
Okay,
1779.85.
all right. Can I get a motion to pay that?
No motion?
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the last one was 3998.25. This was specifically for Doe Creek, for
One,
each of the units.
Okay, yeah. It's, whoops, let me get down to the bottom here. $39.98.25. Can I get a motion to pay?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, thank you, Jason. Budget.
Yes, I just want to make council aware of 2 dates, make sure this works for you. For the budget, we have a strict schedule that we have to advertise, we have to have a public hearing, we have to have an adoption hearing. And those all have to be spaced out, a certain amount of days and things. So I tried to plan it out so that we could have the public hearing and adoption hearing both at regularly scheduled council meetings.
Oh, pretty good.
So I'm looking at September 13th meeting and the October 11th meeting. So I want to throw those dates out there.
September 13th?
And October 11th are the regular scheduled town council meetings. We would add the budget process to the beginning of those meetings.
So we would
You want to
have
have
a
like 6:30 instead of 7 for that, or? is
I
that-
think the 7 would be fine. I don't think
So
it's
just
going
incorporate it
to
in
take
the
that much
regular
time. But I just want to make sure that you are aware of those dates, and so if those are a conflict for anybody, please let me know so we can, rework the calendar and make sure we get,
let me look
the proper.
right here.
And so it's not important tonight. You can tell me in the next.
Oh,
one.
okay.
We have time.
But aren't we gonna have meetings to go through the budget? Are you gonna talk to us about that later?
That typically, we'll set up private meetings with private, just not public town council
Right.
meetings, where we'll go through the budget with department heads, myself, probably my deputy, the department heads, and then typically council would appoint 2 people that would sit
Okay.
on those meetings and be part of those talks. That would be great.
I'll go ahead and volunteer, I think you gotta do you're still with the fire department? Yeah.
I did speak with Brandon, when he told me he couldn't come to the meeting, and he said he would be willing to sit in on the budget talks as well. So,
We'll talk with Larry too, Cindy, any, will be in the budget?
Depends on when they are.
Well, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you. But September 13th and October 11th.
yes.
Okay. All right, planning BZA? Anything?
I guess I could fill you in real quick. BZA, and Greg was there as well last Thursday night. The BZA did meet. We had a special exception request and a building variance standard request for the property on the northeast corner of 70 and 231 up on the hill where the old motel used to be.
Okay.
The first, and the BZA did vote
To approve.
to approve both the variance. It was a variance request for a setback reduction of 25 feet to 5 feet on the west side of the property.
Northeast side, but the west side.
The
on
west side,
West Street.
230
Yeah.
side. And but they also approved the special exception for that property or it can be used as a self-storage facility.
Okay, so it gives them 20 more feet, basically.
Yeah, it's basically, there's a tower over there, so it's not really impeding on any other
Okay.
property line.
Do we need to take action? Okay.
Their decision, BZA's
Stands.
decisions are
Okay.
final.
Okay. Okay. Is that it? Thank you. Park board. Don't think we have anybody.
No, John, tonight.
I'll update you on that. We did get and I don't think we talked about this last meeting, the bottom log
Yeah,
is in
yes,
place.
It is,
Okay.
okay.
We still need to get the chinking redone on that. The chinking is not there, but it's also in disrepair elsewhere in the
Okay.
cabin, so we'll work on that. We'll
Okay.
get that.
And they still have money too, I believe, don't they, Kelly? Some funds.
They should.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
should, because
yeah.
how much has been spent. but-
Yeah, okay. And the park board vacancy, I guess, since Lois left,
Resignation.
but
Yeah, I have not heard of any.
nobody.
No longer.
Okay, ordinances and resolutions,
Don't
go
say any
ahead.
longer.
Dave's
Say a word.
Dave's plate got bigger?
Yeah.
I already have 3, so.
All right. We'll have to pass on the ordinances and resolutions, right?
Yep.
New business, EAS renewal, anything on that, Jason? Or is that Steve?
This,
Oh, Kelly.
EAS is the, basically our IT department, it's the computer. And our service agreement has run out, and he got a new contract to us for renewal. Since it is a contract, I think we should wait
Yep.
until Attorney
Table
Shea
that
has
as
time
well.
to look at it.
You got time for next month, or?
Well, they didn't give me a contract until after ours had run out, so it will be okay for 1 month.
Okay, all right, thank you. And insurance, Kelly?
And this does need a decision tonight.
Okay.
The insurance that we carry for the town employees is set to renew July 1st. It will expire at the end of June.
Okay.
You have in your packets, I ended up getting 2 to 3 quotes from 3 different agents. This is for health. Health is the main thing, but then there's some ancillary that they cover, dental, vision, and then our life insurance will be covered by whoever council decides to go with as well. You'll see, I've given you in there the quotes and how it's going to affect different employees. Unfortunately, there is a price increase for all of them. My recommendation, just in looking at over those, would be to go with the AIM Medical Trust. I'm just gonna give you some of my pros and cons on that.
Is that who we have now?
No,
I was gonna say, because they're not happy with it.
No, I know, yes, I'm
Also,
not happy with it. Yeah.
A lot of them are complaining, so.
Yes.
Is that the AIM United listed on the comparison?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it would be through United, which is the health network that AIM Medical Trust uses, which is,
Yeah.
so, I mean, some of the benefits are, I don't know how to say this other than it's the least expensive rate increase.
Yeah.
So they're all an increase, but this is the least expensive.
Yeah.
I've also provided you in your packet, they've had a lot of good feedback from other towns. I just asked a bunch of towns throughout the state what they thought of it, and I provided you with a couple pages worth of feedback that I received. Almost all of it was positive. There was like one negative comment, but then they clarified it and said, well, they don't even really have AIM, they just didn't like the United Health Service that they had through somebody else. So it is a broader network than what we have, and the AIM deductions and out-of-pocket expenses are half of what we have now. So that would be one benefit to the employees. There's also two options, which I'm not sure the second option is really gonna be that big of a benefit to the employees we have, but it's always nice to throw out an option if they want it. We can get a PPO plan, which is what we have now, or there's also, they said they could offer both. The other one is a high deductible with the HSA plan. So that it could be an option. There's lower premiums with the high deductible plan, but basically, it's a totally different way of looking at insurance. You're paying for everything out of pocket
Right.
until you hit your
You're still paying, so yes.
Yeah. But definitely the PPO, they could still stick with that. AIM is also an 18-month quote. So this would put us on a calendar year now instead of changing in the mid-year in July. What this quote would be if we signed up now, this quote would be good through
So,
December of 2023. And then from then on, we would renew.
Yearly?
January 1 would be our annual
Okay.
renewal, and it would go through December.
Okay.
It is on a calendar year, which is, it's better just for a lot of reasons. Things, as a, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, it does give 3 options then with the AIM, right?
Well, there would be 2, we would have to choose.
Oh, between the PPO and the HD.
But that would be up to
Yes.
the employee
Yeah.
to choose which plan they wanted.
Yes, we could offer the middle one, the middle PPO,
Yeah.
which is similar to what we have. And then the very first one, there's two there, they give
Yeah.
one of them has a higher deductible and is higher, so we'd probably go with the lower of the options. I think it's the one on the left in that spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Some drawbacks to AIM, these are the things that I don't like.
Okay.
It's change, and change is just, it's always change, and you just never fully know exactly what you're getting into. So that's one, and it is a price increase. The biggest downside I see with AIM is a 4-year commitment. This AIM does not do things in a 1 year. If we decide to go through the AIM Medical Trust, because it's a trust, it's not an insurance agent
Yeah.
per se. It is a 4-year commitment.
Do we know,
There is no cap on increase.
that's what I was just getting ready to
Yes.
ask.
There's-
But because of the track record, it's been much less of an increase than anyone else.
Because there's always gonna be increase, but we don't wanna go next year, all of a sudden it goes up.
50%
You know,
increase, but-
yeah, and then the third year.
But looking at their past track record, it has not occurred.
Okay.
Not that it couldn't.
Not
But
that,
it hasn't.
yeah, with their track record and also with the people who I asked from other towns around the state. And
There's quite a few.
they all concurred that their rates went up less than they would have if they had
State.
Seeger type insurance.
Because you had Greenfield in here, Avon, it's
Yeah.
a pretty big city, or towns,
But
compared to ours.
like Greg said, that's no
Guarantee.
guarantee. I'm just looking at track record is all I can do.
Unfortunately, we gotta make a decision today.
Well, fortunately, we use up the first 18 months of that 4
Mm-hmm.
years, so,
Yeah, true.
so it isn't really 4 years, it's, you know.
And I would recommend again, that the town pick up the extra premium cost for the employees till the end of the year, like we did last year. I hate raising
Well,
rates on them in the middle of the year.
Yeah,
We
right.
can't compensate with a raise, so
Yeah.
How much of a increase was it for the individuals?
it's in your spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I'm not sure off the top of my head, but it's in there and it tells you exactly, there's a line item that says how much it's going to increase. We do have enough in the budget to cover that to the
Okay.
end of the year. We verified that, so there is enough, but that would be my recommendation. And we
Yeah.
shouldn't have that issue moving forward if we go to a calendar year.
Yeah.
And out of all the agencies you've worked with, these have been the most accommodating and
So far, I mean, it's hard to say because
Yeah,
everyone's
they're-
accommodating.
They're
Yeah.
trying to sell, they're trying to sell a product. We get it.
I mean, it's hard because I feel like we've kind of been burned twice, and so it all sounds good, but I mean, I'm fairly confident. I think the track record, to me, the track record with all the other people in the state.
Yeah.
You've reached out to other
Speaks
agencies
more.
that have had
That
success.
feedback on it.
Yeah.
Well, there's the feedback page, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say yes, because, you know, for the town, taking, you know, covering the premium change until the end of the year, and also letting them know right now going forward, hey, this is gonna happen January 1. The town is trying to accommodate you for 6 months. That's my thought.
I'll make a motion, go ahead and go with AIM.
Okay. Second,
Okay.
all in favor?
Aye.
And, okay, and so that was to go ahead with AIM?
Yes.
And is that to cover, for the town to
Uh,
cover the
yes.
premiums as
Yes.
well?
Cover the 6-month premium
Okay.
increase.
Correct.
Till January 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
All right, and then along with AIM, there's a couple choices on dental and vision.
okay.
There's, I think, 3 options on dental and maybe 2 or 3 on vision. Option 1 of both of those match up very closely with what we have.
Already.
Yes, and
Those don't seem to change from insurance company to insurance company, it's just like,
they're pretty much the
yeah,
same.
yeah, okay.
So I need to know what option you'd like to
Okay.
go with for dental
And
and vision as
what-
well.
What document is that?
It's on the same spreadsheet at the
Oh,
bottom,
okay.
like
All right,
right
sorry.
where the 3 AIM categories are.
I didn't.
There's a lot of numbers on there, it's confusing.
Okay, hello.
Don't wanna work.
Nope, it's covered.
I said,
Here
I'd
we
like
go.
to have a,
All right. Pretty far down. Oh, I was concentrating more on that. Okay, let's see what AIM is.
Yeah,
Employee,
it's under the AIM United 3,000 high deductible health plan. If you go down, it says AIM VSP, that's the vision.
$6.
For option 1, and then underneath that is the Delta Dental, which is the dental plan.
26.
And there's options 1, 2, and 3 for each of those.
Yeah, and they look comparable across the board, except Sycamore goes to 936 on the vision. Wow.
Yes, and if we're going to go with AIM for the health,
Yeah, we gotta go
typically
with
you
that, yeah.
go with their
It is
providers for the
cheaper
dental.
than-
And
Yeah.
it's Delta Dental is, that's good. And
Yeah.
VSP also is,
That's
it's
good.
yeah,
it's really good.
just before we did.
Yeah,
So-
okay. All
But,
right.
I just didn't know if you want option 1, 2, or 3. If you
Well,
want the book ones.
they don't get to choose that, I mean, we have to choose that for them. On option one.
That,
I
I
would
think
think
the
the
town has a
employees-
plan, and then the employee just either has a choice of taking the plan or.
Man, I thought they had a
don't
choice.
think-
My
If
employees,
you-
I
I
get to
get
pick out
what
those
Yeah.
options.
you want,
I mean, I can.
the
try-
lesser one or you want the more?
Yeah, see, if,
I can try that.
Yeah, and if not,
is
I
the-
would
is the
say
option-
option 1. Well, I don't know, guys.
I think it's pretty much the employee can select which option they want,
Especially with
what they want to pay.
Dental, that should be theirs.
If, when do we had to make
I
a
have,
decision
yeah, I
for
have to
that.
tell them tomorrow.
Okay, option 1,
If
vision.
they can't select.
Yeah, they can't select. Vision, option 1 is 615, option 2 is 459, option 3 is 708, just for the employee. Now, dental, option 1 is 2632. Employee plus child, 71. Option 2 is $24.41 for the employee. Employee plus child, 64.68, and then option 3 is 14.14 for employee and 40.46 for employee and child. That seems to,
There's
I
different,
think they would get to pick up.
Yeah, I know,
Some
but
of
if
them
they
don't
don't-
even have kids.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think that's gonna be employee select,
Yeah.
but I would say option 2, go middle of the ground.
Okay,
I will say, option 1 matches closely to what we have now.
okay,
It has better coverage. I didn't get around to I sent a lot of things out to employees and asked for feedback, and didn't get it. But I did I went to employees as I was trying to catch them as I saw them go through the office. And all the ones that I did ask, I asked if they would be what they would prefer, if they would rather pay $1 extra premium
And that's what it's for.
to get better coverage, or if they'd like
Yeah.
to save on the premium to have less coverage. And every single one that I talked to, that they'd rather pay the extra $1
Okay.
to get the better.
Well, if that's
Coverage.
feedback you got, I think we need to go with option one. If that's what they're all recommending, that's if they don't have the option.
Yes, I will try to give them
Sure.
the choice first.
All right, can we get a motion to go with the AIM, Vision, and Delta, option one?
Option one, it is.
All right, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Kelly. Super. All right, let me see the guy that's got the most hats on there. Mr. Fish. What?
I got some hats on there.
No.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So, everything's going well.
Good.
Our pool's up and running, working perfectly.
Did we have a
So, should
pool
be-
party already or no?
Yeah, this weekend.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, so we're excited about that. We are doing fireworks, our second annual Stardust Hills Fireworks Show on July 2nd
Okay.
at dusk. That's probably going to be somewhere between 9:15 and 9:30. We have talked about it, and we want to put out an open invitation to the town of Cloverdale. We're going to hold that. The fireworks will be shot off at the basketball court, so anywhere around the grassy area
See,
is where they can sit. We plan on reaching out to the fire department and the marshal to see if we can have our finalists there.
okay.
So, last year it went on for about 20 minutes. We're probably looking at doing about a 30-minute show, so everybody enjoyed it. We're looking to increase our numbers this year and really enjoy that.
Any concessions or?
We probably have bottled water there, so, because it'll probably be lit, so,
Yeah.
yeah, we plan on doing that at least. We talked about doing hot dogs during the day, but that's where we're doing a grill out for
Yeah.
the members at the pool, so.
Okay.
But we'll open it up to the public to come out and watch the fireworks. Thank you.
Thanks, David.
Yep.
Okay, old business, Steve, town hall security system, anything in there?
Remember we tabled
We did?
I talked to the guy, and I guess the updated, what you got was the updated estimate.
The last one you had
Was
it
good.
just had the old date on it.
Okay, all right. So I don't think we need to do anything. Okay. Employee handbook is tabled as well. Guardrails? Table. All right. Those. Jason, do you have anything else?
Don't.
Why did you go there?
I'm just kidding. All right, we got anything from the audience? Someone?
Yes.
Oh, usual.
This guardrail, is that the one that's damaged and Stardust?
Yes.
We can't get one that's been around to replace it, or?
Honestly, it's just not been a priority. That's why I have not gotten a second quote. I've got a second quote. They asked me to get more quotes. And finding a contractor is not real easy to find a real contractor, but I don't want to take it off there because I want to make sure I get it done or give it.
Yeah.
Well, the other questions I have is specifically on the stormwater board. We appointed one member last month, I believe, at the meeting here.
Yeah.
And I think we're still short a meeting, but they have not had a meeting since then. But we continue to collect the monies on the water bill that everybody is contributing $5 a month to the stormwater remediation situation. And I can tell you this, that the next question I have is on Stardust Road. But there is a significant amount of damage being caused on Stardust Road because of water. And the water board needs to meet, and they need to look at what is happening to the roads because of the stormwater that is not being directed properly. And we've had a number of residents in Stardust Hills that have filled in the side ditches, filled in the drain tiles, etc., and prohibited stormwater from getting drained properly. And so we need a stormwater board that is active and does something. Call a meeting, if we're limited to 3 people, let's get 3 people that are active.
I think we have John Bailey
He's one.
and Larry. Did we, Bob Anderson is the other one. But do we know when they're gonna have a meeting yet?
No, actually, we spoke about that just a few minutes ago.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, John.
Well, I guess I can add something here, that's
Sure.
probably maybe a little bit.
Okay,
I'll get a hold of Larry and we'll
Okay.
try to, because that's gonna accommodate a forum, just between Larry and I.
yeah.
So we will get something done, we'll get a meeting scheduled. Now, this other gentleman, I don't know him, but I'll try to get a hold of him and see if he's gonna join in. If not, maybe he doesn't wanna be involved, we
Right.
can replace him with someone that does.
Now, yeah, I'm just
Is
asking,
that
does Bob still work
position?
down there? Is that who I'm thinking of, Bob Anderson?
At
At the gun shop?
Yeah.
Okay,
Is that an appointed position?
it is.
His term was up in December 23.
Oh, his term is, okay. John, he still works down at the gun shop, Bob Anderson.
Okay, I don't know which one he is.
Yeah,
You
I
would
know-
ask for Bob.
Oh, I know the guys, yeah, I'm down there a lot, so I do know the guys, and I didn't know his name, I mean,
Yeah.
you
That's
know.
Bob.
Yeah.
But I'll go and ask for him, I'll go and see if I can't corner
And
him.
if you can corner him, and if he wants to continue, get with Larry and set up a
I will
date.
do that.
If he does,
Let
yeah,
us know so we can.
I will
so
do
we
that.
can get somebody
I will be glad
appointed.
to do that.
You know, somebody like David Fish or,
Yeah,
I'm just
something like
kidding,
that.
I'm kidding. Scott Wall, okay, that's been brought up. All right, we got some movement, Don.
Okay. In regards to this, is
Yeah.
the roads, and quite frankly, we have enough chuck holes that we can use a whole dump truck load
Yeah.
of fill. And some of them are larger, almost can swallow a VW
Okay.
car. Some of the chuck holes are getting quite large, and they're quite severe. And the stormwater has contributed to the deterioration of these roads.
Okay,
So we can fill the chuck holes, but we've got to fix them before
problem.
we
Yeah.
pave the roads.
oh, yeah,
We've got to fix this drainage situation, or it's just gonna be for nothing. We're gonna go back to hell in a handbag quickly if we don't address the drainage.
right.
Do you want me to say something about
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, you
it? Okay, Jason.
Jason's
and I-
been working, well, yeah, go ahead.
We had a conversation recently with some ideas to
Okay.
address that road. He's working on putting some numbers together as to what we need to do, because to do a stormwater, it's going to be very, very expensive to go in and put drainage in and stuff. So that's something that's gonna have to be handled possibly with a grant, or other means of financing. So we're looking at maybe doing a temporary fix of the road until we can move forward with something a little more major.
Well,
Meaning possibly going in and patching, doing a real good patch job and, chip and seal it as a temporary to give us a couple of years. Because we know it's a water problem, but we're not gonna address that water problem without some major funding.
we have some pretty major funding available in the stormwater board. I
It
believe
would
it's over
not,
a
it
quarter
would
of
not
a
make a
million
dent
dollars.
in that road.
And it's.
The
I don't
the
know
funding
if
that
we
we have
plan
available in our
expenditure on it
budget
this
would
year.
not even begin to address that road. That's a multi-million-dollar project to do it right.
In 2008,
The way you eat an elephant is one bite at a time.
It's a big
Exactly,
fight.
yeah.
In 2008, we did a stormwater study, and we had about $4.7 million worth of projects. 4.7 million. We have just over 300,000 in our stormwater fund right now.
How much?
A little over 300,000 in our stormwater fund right now. So 300,000 doesn't go very far in 4.7. Now that 4.7 in 2008, I'm sure is probably closer to 6 million now.
Yeah.
So we've got $6 million, I'm estimating there, $6 million in projects, 300,000 to spend towards that. Now that's townwide, We actually have that plan is sitting in our engineer's desk right now. We're revising that to potentially go in for an Okra grant, which would be $500,000, $500,000 potential to go in for that. Still, even if we get $500,000 and we do some of our local match, we'd have to come up with 20% local match. We may have $700,000 to throw at a project at $6 million worth of projects. And that's if it works out the way we want it to work out. So I think everybody recognizes the problem with Stardust Way is drainage. No doubt that's what the problem is.
But that needs to be fixed before we do an extensive road repair.
There's a lot of work that Jason's been doing, and it doesn't come out in these meetings. He's been doing a lot of stuff in the background.
Lots of
And
background
it
going
takes
on.
time to get these grants, the funding right, working with Kelly on that. There's a lot of stuff going on. We could be here all night if we let him just spill his guts. But a lot of it, we don't know for sure. You know what I mean? We're just trying to get all the eggs in the basket. This is how we should do this one first, this one second.
And we want to do the project right. We don't want to
Yes,
short.
we don't want to patch it, but like Greg said, right now, we can't fix that drainage, but we can do a patch, maybe get us by a year or two until we can redo the whole thing. It's not being forgotten. It's just not happening as quick
And
as
as
you
you
want it
said, Don, our
to.
main problem is drainage. And we're not going to fix drainage for free.
But there,
Well,
yeah,
there's a lot of things that could be addressed without spending that full 2 million, 4 million, whatever it is. But.
We're not gonna do it
and
right
the
for
longer-
700,000.
The longer we delay any issue or any efforts to get anything done with it, the higher that cost is going to be.
We've got
You
this.
can't, you
Well, the
can't buy
ideal
a gallon
condition
of
would have
gas
been that
today
road
for
would
what
be
you
designed and
designed for last
engineered
year.
correctly when it was done, but it wasn't. It's our problem now. And we have to deal with it with the budget that we've got.
yeah. All right, David.
So, it's been about a year ago, and I'm not sure if the town bought the piece of equipment that goes onto one of our big machines, but it can dig a ditch out. Did we buy that piece?
We approved it, but we have not bought it.
Okay. I would be totally fine with digging our ditches back out, and the reason I say this, I am a realist, I understand this is a lot of money to fix our drainage, but we really can't wait for the funds, because that's gonna take a while, and I know it's a very long process. I'm okay with digging our ditches out, because, you know, and I'm being very patient with this, I moved here 2.5 years ago. I went to fix my faucet, I had a handyman come over today. He opened up my crawl space. We've had a lot of rain lately. I have 4 inches of rain in my crawl space. It's being pumped out right now. Our yards flood up. Right now, there's water, standing water in between my house and my neighbor's house. It looks like a lake in our yards.
We all have it.
Because 2 houses down, they filled in their yard, the water can't go anywhere, and it backs up, and it flows back up in our homes. So I understand the long-term solution is to put drainage systems in. That's gonna take time, but I need a short-term solution now. We do. And if that means digging ditches out, so be it. It may not look pretty, but it's better than losing our homes and losing half the town because we all have to move out because they're destroyed by water.
This is, you know, this 2, 3, 4 million, whatever it is, this is utopia. And those engineers and architects, they get a percentage of the cost of these projects. And the higher they can make it cost, the more money they make. I think we have to take a practical approach that water runs downhill. And we have to approach it and take care of the obvious problems with a limited amount of money and get something going, because the water issue is causing the deterioration of the roads, and that is costing us more money to,
And
whether
we
we
are
patch them or
all
whether we pave them.
Very aware of
The
that.
roads are being deteriorated because when you get a puddle, a small puddle, and it freezes. In the wintertime, it freezes and it breaks the surface. Once it breaks the surface, it just grows and grows and grows.
You're correct. I can tell you there are 3 places in town that I know right now that are worse than Stardust Way, that are deteriorating our roads much faster than Stardust Way. And I can assure you, we're gonna go through that 300,000 plus on those 3 sites like that, and nothing happens to Stardust Way. I mean, you can go to South Doe Creek right now, and you're gonna see where the pavement is falling off the side of the road. You can go out to Seabar C, pavement is falling off the side of the road. These issues are not just Stardust Way. They're all through this town. You can go on Monon Avenue and see what's happening over there. We've got these all over town. It's very, very expensive. Engineering is expensive, I don't disagree. But we have to look beyond Stardust Way. And that's what the Stormwater Board is gonna decide. If that's the most important street and that's what they choose, that's fine.
I haven't even looked at Stardust Way or talked about that. We've got some serious issues on some of the side roads.
We do.
Yeah.
That, you can, that's side road, you can.
Correct, but it's not just,
There are several
it's in
yards
Old Town
in
Cloverdale as well. It's not
Stardust.
just Stardust. I mean, that's what we hear every meeting, is Stardust. There are problems out there. It's awful out there. But they exist all over town. It's not just there. You know, maybe start the board, this would be very unpopular, but, you know, $5 is probably a low amount of monthly payment for that. If you want to address these issues, you may want to look at increasing, no one wants to hear that. But obviously $300,000 has been collected over how many years?
Expensive.
Yeah, so,
Oh, it's, sure, but I don't, there's not been any expenditure out of that fund this year that I know of, but I don't know everything.
You wanna go in halves with us? I think we don't have the money for it.
This has been coming up every month
Yeah.
since I've been
Yeah.
here. I have a list on my computer of everybody that's called about stormwater issues. And hands down, it is the biggest complaint I receive, is stormwater.
Really?
Hands down.
I thought it'd be dogs.
I'm getting ready to bring that up in a minute. I'm going there.
Stormwater.
All right.
And I know when the stormwater, and we're revising this stormwater plan that was done in 2008. We're gonna get new numbers for that. We're gonna let the stormwater board make an executive decision on this.
Right.
It's not gonna go far.
Okay. I'll give you my number after the meeting, and then, you know, let me know what you find out. Okay, I appreciate it, John.
No problem.
Thank you, Don. Steve, you had something?
Yes, just we kind of went over me really quick, so I didn't
I'm
get my
sorry,
report
yeah, I
on
did
that.
cut
That's
you
okay.
off. I'm sorry.
Just the time, we have got a problem, and I hate to say it, but the biggest calls we've been getting is in Stardust. I just had a dog attack this morning over on Greenway. Like a week or so ago, I had one of my officers chased up on the hood of a car by a dog running loose after it was already tried to get into a dog fight with another place. Point is, we've got a lot of loose dogs running over there. I need whatever help you all can get to help me get the word out. We are gonna start issuing citations, ordinance violations for these dogs running loose. You have people on leashes like they're supposed to, walking their dogs, and they're being attacked by dogs who aren't on their leashes, who are just roaming neighborhoods. And we can't have that. We're gonna go back and start, I've got to pull all the tags. We haven't done our due diligence this year on the tags. By now, we're supposed to get the new dog tags in January. Yeah, we'll get the list, but it's supposed to be, and we've got a lot of new people to move in with multiple dogs. There are a new ordinance that we've got that we're gonna be enforcing, the 91.01 and
Dave, is that something y'all can?
91.10.
Your newsletter that you send out to all Stardust?
Yeah, our next one is not scheduled to go out for about 2 more months.
yeah, whatever.
We could do it, what? We could do it on the rear board.
We're gonna reboard out there.
And one of the things we keep hearing a lot of, there's a new thing on the tethering of the dogs and stuff. There's a lot of dogs being tethered and left for just long periods of time without anything. That's dogs off leashes, aggressive dogs. We had that under control pretty well, and all of a sudden here, for whatever, it's starting to, yeah. So just FYI,
Yep.
it's happening.
If you can maybe put a blurb out there for me, that would be great.
We'll get it on our social media accounts too.
What's that?
We'll get it on Facebook.
We'll get it out there.
Okay,
Okay.
appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, all right, thank you. Council? Jason? Any, yes?
I have,
Volunteering for storm board, is that?
maybe.
Okay.
He said maybe.
I have a big issue.
Yeah.
It's a major concern. It's about this new canine
Okay,
that you want to bring on board.
okay.
Truthfully, I'm pissed off that he's not on here, because I've said in this council meetings and heard people say, go, 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 go. And now it's no, 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 no.
No, it's not a no, it's that our counselor's not here tonight, and we can't do a contract without him.
I understand that, but
Okay.
the last meeting,
Yeah.
this was tabled.
I
Why?
think the
Because personally,
contract-
myself-
Did Sam have the contract done then?
Sam wrote a contract, Richard was not happy with the way the contract was written. We've rewritten the contract several times, we can't seem to get it.
That's what.
Well, here's the issue with me.
Yeah,
This young man reached out to me, and within less than 60 minutes, I had him $500 for insurance. I had somebody, a personal person, that was gonna pay for his cage to be installed fully. And I heard you guys positively be in favor of this.
right.
So I don't understand what the problem is.
Again, I think it's the verbiage of the contract, we're waiting on final
Is it that
notice.
tough?
That's,
I'm not a counselor, I
we're
don't
not the
know.
legal counsel, we have to.
I understand that.
And that's what our delay is right now, he had an
This has
emergency.
been more than just a month.
Oh, it's been
Months.
we understand that, we are also frustrated, we are doing everything we can to make this happen.
And I think Cloverdale's shooting themselves in the foot because they're gonna lose a young man who's a really good guy.
That's our worry too.
Trust us, the
Yeah.
council, everyone here wants this to happen now.
And my wording is not coming from being prodded by anyone in this room, because I have stepped up,
Yeah,
even with Argo. I think I was the first one that
Yeah.
donated money towards Argo.
yeah.
So I think this really needs to be looked at and addressed hard.
Trust us, it has been discussed,
Yeah,
we've talked with Steve, we've talked with council, we have, it will be resolved quickly.
yeah,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, thank you, appreciate it. Nothing else, this meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Oh,